Welcome back to Right Hand Drive, guys. Today is episode 20.
Dub.
Wow. So whoever's been listening to all 20 of these episodes, we super appreciate you.
For sure.
Yeah, I know it's been a struggle at times, but we're getting there.
Hey, we're getting there.
We are. We're really getting there.
Persistence.
Yes. So today we kind of wanted to follow up on the previous episode of purchasing a right-hand drive car and couple it with how to source right-hand drive parts. Because for some people, however you got your right-hand drive car,
right.
You may not understand or know all of the options available to you to source the parts for that car.
Right.
Whether aftermarket or OEM, right? I mean, there is some crossover, but not a ton.
Yeah.
So we just figured we'd kind of go through and let you know, in our opinion, some of the ways to just get some of those parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few ways, and obviously when it comes to a JDM right-hand drive car and the parts that go on it, you're probably not finding stuff at Napa or Advanced beyond that crossover stuff.
Right. Small stuff, maybe like spark plugs.
He literally just got those yesterday.
Literally for the RB20,
Yeah.
how to get some plugs. But there's not much you can really get in
Wipers,
America.
your basics.
Right. Like sometimes the brakes have a swap over, but usually there's a little small difference, or just small enough that you can't.
It screws you over.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yes. Welcome to the world of right-hand drive cars.
Right. And just having a car that's not made in the U.S., so why would they have the parts?
Right.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah. And again, if whatever vehicle, for example, maybe Sylvia's, because it was a 240,
right.
Maybe you're going to be able to find some of those.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But when we're talking Skyline, there is no comparable car here.
Right. Or
so
a Chaser. There's not really anything.
Right. All of those type of things. A Cedric.
Yeah.
Whatever. But so when it comes to sourcing these, again, probably not going to find anything in person unless it's your basics. So that, of course, brings us to the internet, because the internet has everything, right?
Literally everything, right?
Yeah, and
if you're willing to wait.
If you're willing to wait. And so that's something we'll kind of discuss. So there are a bunch of online resources that you can use. We're going to go through a few of them. That doesn't mean that that's all of them, because we maybe haven't used them, haven't heard of them, just whatever. So if you know of something else, send us a DM so that we can learn about it, and then we can include it on the next one.
Yeah.
So to start off, Nengun is a fairly popular website. Have you ever been on there?
Yeah. I've been on there a few times. Haven't really ordered anything from there because of just wasn't
not needing it.
Needing it necessarily.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just one of those things. Haven't ordered there, but I've definitely shopped around on there. Just haven't.
Yeah,
totally
they do have quite a few things for quite a few different cars. The one thing I do like about Nengun, and this is Nengun, Nengun. One thing I do really like about it is they're super upfront about how long everything will take.
Yes, and actually that's what made me shy away from buying what I wanted to get.
Because they were honest.
Yeah, because they were honest.
Yeah.
I think for me it was like a D-Max wing or something like that, and right there, right below.
Right under it.
Yeah, right where it says add to cart, it says, this is made to order. This will take 6 to 8 months to come in.
Yeah.
Right there, where some of these places, they'll let you order anything.
And they make you almost think it's in stock.
Right. And they'll, it says right there, in stock.
Yeah.
Cool, sweet. This part's been discontinued for 2 years. How do they have it in stock? No, wait, let me buy them. And then, they email you a week later saying, hey, this is back ordered indefinitely. And it's what?
Just update your website.
Update your website. What is going on?
Yeah, so that's one of the great things about Nengun that I can appreciate, is just you know what to expect, right?
Right.
And for them, that's smart, because now they aren't having to refund people's money. They aren't having to do the runaround. They're literally hey, it's going to take 60 plus days.
Yeah.
If you're not cool with that, don't order it.
Right.
And it probably cuts down on the inquiry emails because nobody's inquiring until after the 60 days.
Right,
You know,
right.
so I personally ordered a lot of stuff for my R33 off Nengun, including like my HKS turbo kit, and yeah, it was a good experience. Everything was pretty close to those shipping dates that they put on the website. It was, it might have been a little bit longer, but
It was during COVID. That's to be expected, right?
yeah, true. It was during COVID, so I mean, no complaints though. Nengun, I think, is solid. They don't have everything, but they do have enough to like kind of get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, solid company.
And so another Japanese-based internet site is called Kruber with a bunch of O's.
Yeah.
Kruber. Yeah, and so I'll let you kind of. I know we touched on this a little bit in our Up Garage thing, but you can kind of let them know about Kruber.
Yeah, Kruber is basically Up Garage on the internet. So you can search literally whatever you want, and if they have it, it'll come up. And it just makes buying from Up Garage, being in a different country, it makes buying from them way easier. You're not having to deal with some guy over there that's in the military having to go to get this part for you and then ship it out and or whatever the situation might be. It's like all done with a legit company, and it's like pretty much their in-house like seller on the internet.
Yeah. And so real quick, some of these websites will be in English. Others you need to translate.
Right.
So if you pull up on whatever Kruber and it's not in English, if they don't have the selection up top to go to English, then you need to translate it via your web browser. And that's part of working with like JDM cars is like there is like a different language that they're speaking over there. So like be prepared for that, and sometimes the translations aren't perfect. Like it may say something weird.
Yeah, you have to kind of interpret
the translation.
Yeah, exactly, and not take it word for word. Like, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. So, have you ever ordered from Kruber?
I've never ordered from Kruber, but there was a few times where I wanted to, but it was just out of the price range or whatever it might be. But I've had friends order from them, and they've had decent experiences. No crazy shipping times or nothing like that. And
which I would expect because that's the Up Garage parts, so those are in hand. That's not a made to order. That's a we have it here type thing.
Yeah. So it's
probably not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I would trust it. Just kind of know what you're getting, and look at the pictures, and don't expect a brand new part.
Right, because they're going to be used.
Right, if it's used, if it's used, definitely don't expect it to be brand new, pristine.
And so, some of these places that we're listing off, you can get brand new parts. Some of these places are going to be used. Like Nengun, that's all brand new parts. Kruber, that's mostly used,
Right.
And also next up, Trust Kaikaku.
Yes.
Now that's like you're getting the options of a lot of like pristine parts, like things that you can't necessarily get anywhere else. You may be able to, but it's not quite as easy as Trust Kaikaku.
Right. They have
everything, whether it's
almost everything
on the site or not. Like they have it. It's
and just
crazy.
From Nismo OEM.
The N1 blocks just chilling, like windshields, like
and they have like their own used parts as well that are specific,
Yep, because they're
Skylines.
stripping down cars like constantly, pretty much. Like, if you don't know about Trust Kaikaku, you should probably just, I hate to say it, go watch Samit's video.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there.
Like, whoever's, but like, they are crazy.
Yes,
they're freaking insane.
Yes,
just. They have like fields full of Skylines. They have warehouses full of Skylines. And so what they'll do is they'll go through a car, and if it's not up to spec, like they'll sell rusted cars, which we know, like they're
Yeah.
selling these
Yeah,
GTTs,
yeah.
but they're totally upfront about
That's another
it.
thing. Yeah, they're doing the sales now. The
Yeah.
34 is legal.
But they're also stripping down these cars.
Right.
Now, I don't even know what their selection process is, but you'll see them post up, new used parts available on the website now, and it's like literally like they chopped up an R34.
Yeah.
Like you're like, holy moly. So, right, to what you were saying, you can absolutely get some quality used parts from Trust Kaikaku because a car comes in, and the parts that are on it are getting taken off and sold. So,
Yeah.
and it's also, right, so like a lot of the OEM kind of stuff that I needed, I was able to get from Trust Kaikaku.
Yeah, me too.
Whether it was like the windshield seals or whatever it may be, like they really carry a wide variety of those kind of things that you can't just get on whatever.
I mean, they pretty much have the whole Nismo like heritage catalog.
Yeah.
I would imagine, like
all of the body parts.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, man. So, if you're looking for that type of stuff, which like on my R33, most of my Nismo stuff came from them.
Right.
Then Trust Kaikaku is like absolutely the way to go.
Yeah.
And their website is easily translatable.
Very easy.
And they have a U.S. based warehouse. So if you would like to order from the U.S. one, you'll save in shipping and time.
Right.
It is a more limited selection, but it's still pretty dang good.
Right. But I mean, for me, whenever I look, I feel like you get a better deal ordering from their Japan, whether it be like the exchange rate or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a little bit better deal on some of the parts, like that I've noticed, and the shipping isn't that bad. And for being in Japan and having to ship to the U.S., it takes no time.
No, they're good.
I don't get it. I'm like, I just ordered this 5 days ago, 6 days ago. Like, I've had packages from California take longer to get here. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they got dudes flying over on Japan Airlines in first class, dude, bringing the boxes over.
I'm like, holy cow. But yeah, Trust Kaikaku, they are definitely one of the top notch.
Yeah.
And I mean, they do have more stuff than just for Skylines.
Oh, for sure. They do. They're heavy on the Skylines, but they definitely have other stuff, and they're starting to expand because they can see where this is going and how much success they've had with the Skyline stuff. Trust Kaikaku. So another like super OG, like some of these guys who, have been having right-hand drive cars in the U.S. for a long, long time, before like Trust Kaikaku blew up, before Nengun gained traction, before Kruger was even a thought by Up Garage, there was Yahoo Auctions. Yeah, that's like
Yahoo
the
Auctions.
OG. Like, that's where you got stuff, like, 10, 15 years ago. Like, that was it. Like, you had to figure out Yahoo Auctions because that's what the Japanese were using over there as, like, their eBay.
Right. Yeah.
So, Yahoo Auctions, have you ever bought anything?
I have not.
Yeah.
I haven't. And honestly, I haven't really looked too much on there.
Well, and now that there's these other sites, right?
Right.
It's kind of easier to navigate, right? Because with Yahoo Auctions, and so this is the warning, right? Yahoo Auctions is tough. You translate that, but it's still not great. You are bidding on something, hence auction, and you don't know the seller. You don't know if those pictures are 100%, if they were when they first got the part or if they're actually now, So there are some more risks associated with Yahoo Auctions, I think, as well as a little bit more, I don't know, like of a process.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of like brings us into the next one on this buyee. That's like
buyee.
Pretty much
like the middleman.
Like a middleman, I guess you could say. And it seems pretty legit. I have a buddy that uses it quite a bit, and he's kind of talked to me about it and like how the process works. And it seems simple, just like ordering something off eBay in that sense.
Yeah.
And it's all translated for the most part.
Yep.
And it's pretty legit.
Yeah, so they like kind of take the Yahoo Auction and like translate it and superimpose it onto their website. It's like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
but it makes sense because it really bridges that gap that I think
Right.
a lot of guys were having when it comes to Yahoo auctions.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The
So
tech.
so with Buyee and Yahoo auctions, you probably can find some more rare stuff because you'll have a guy like, Aaron or I that like maybe let's just say had this this Nismo cluster
Right.
that he held on to forever or he had in his car. He ended up selling his car, kept the cluster.
Yep.
Now he's putting that cluster on Yahoo auctions. That's something that you can't really find at Trust Kaikaku.
Right.
That's something you probably won't find on Nengun.
Right.
So with the Yahoo Buyee thing, you definitely have a chance to find that one piece that's a little more rare, but like you could also search for hours and not find it.
Right.
If it's not there, it's not there,
Right.
So another, kind of Japan-based parts source is Right Hand Drive Japan.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been around for like ever.
They have. I
Yeah.
remember back in the day when I had my 180, I actually ordered some stuff off there. I don't remember what it was, but I definitely ordered some stuff.
Yeah, me too. When I
Like, way
had my
back.
Civic Type R, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like at that point there was for sure no Nengun or Kruber or Trust Kaikaku
Yeah, no.
being promoted to the US, So that was it, like Right Hand Drive Japan, and
Right.
they are actually from Japan. They have a huge place in
Right.
Japan, it's not like just some US guys like sourcing it. It's like actually like
Yeah, it's
a
legit.
Japan company. Yeah. So they have their own website where you can search everything and get parts for your car, and they stock a lot of what they have. I read, I don't know, but I know when we went to Japan and we looked at the maps, Right Hand Drive Japan, their headquarters was on the map.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
just
yeah.
didn't get to go.
I know, yeah, it was a bummer.
Yeah, so that's another good one. So you got some options here straight from Japan. You
Right.
got Nengun, Kruber, Trust Kaikaku, Yahoo Auctions /Buyee, and then Right Hand Drive Japan.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm sure there's way more.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
these are like parts houses that are combining different manufacturers. You know, you might be able to go straight to HKS in Japan. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But like, or you could go to Nengun and buy HKS and Nismo, and you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So, when it comes to kind of like more United States based websites, of course there's eBay, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've bought plenty of stuff off eBay. I'm sure most of the guys listening to this have messed with eBay.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I definitely have. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on there not all the time, but I go through periodically and just search what's on there
Me
just
too.
in case if it's
Yeah.
one of those like
R33 Nismo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all have our
Anything
keywords.
New,
We-
anything new? Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of a thing, right? Because eBay is a trusted website
Yeah.
here. You know, it's been around forever now.
Right.
And so if you can identify legitimate sellers,
Yeah.
then there's no reason to worry, right? Because those people have a proven track record. And one of those guys, one that I've purchased from multiple times, is S. Jaron. And
Yeah.
I can't remember if that's actually his eBay name.
It's not his eBay name. His eBay name is something weird like
Something,
Rack43 or something.
Yeah.
If you go to his Instagram, S_Jaron, I believe it is.
Yeah.
JERAN.
Yeah.
It's
It
in
has
his
a
it's in his
link.
bio.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
He's got,
I think he's based out of Amsterdam, and dude has like the craziest parts for sale.
and not just parts, but like accessories and swag.
Yeah. Like
Like what? Like
Nismo old logo.
track jackets?
Yeah, knitted sweater.
Yeah,
like
dude.
what?
Like he
Why was
has
this even a
like,
thing?
and I hope someday he hears this so he can hit us up and like really like give us the lowdown, because
Yeah.
this guy for years and years and years has just been constantly coming up with things that you didn't know existed.
Yeah. Or just like a mass of stuff that you do, like Nismo, like the old logo steering wheels. He has like,
All of them.
dude,
Like every
so
one
many
of
of
them.
them.
How does a 400R even still have a steering wheel?
Right.
Because he's got them all, dude. It's just like, it's definitely wild. So
some of the crazy seats. That,
Oh,
like
yeah,
Nismo seats.
watches. like the Nismo watches and stuff. Like, yeah, the guy's got to connect. So
even if you're not looking to buy it, it's still cool to see like some of this stuff and like some of these catalogs he has that he posts pictures of, like
the RB Zippo.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like he's just got these things that seem fake almost. Because you're like, dude, they didn't make that. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and there's like plenty of other sellers on there that like have quality parts and have, you know, just accounts with different big manufacturers that they can hook you up with in the U.S. So, I mean, eBay is definitely viable. You might pay a little more on some stuff. It just depends. But you can definitely find it, and if it's already in the U.S., then you're in good shape.
Right. Well, I mean, I've bought, I think it was my gauge cluster. I bought it off eBay, right? It was a Damsel 320K cluster, and it actually came from a guy in Ireland. So, I mean, eBay is like global.
Yeah, it's like a melting pot.
Right. But like, not sure like why, but there's not that much stuff from overseas. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'll see it though. Like it'll be like plus shipping from Japan,
right?
You know, or whatever,
or from Europe or wherever.
So those are probably the guys that are like really into it,
right?
Like the hustlers, and they understand how to get onto eBay in the U.S. because they know that they're gonna get that many more sales from here.
Yeah.
So Amazon, I threw this up here because a lot of guys probably shop on Amazon, and it's not really your source for JDM parts.
Right, no.
It's not. I mean, you might be able to find this or that. You know, you probably could find an oil filter for an RB26.
Yeah.
You know, you could probably find some spark plugs, right? But, like, you're probably paying over, and it's you could probably just find it better somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
So Amazon, I really wouldn't even mess with. I personally, have you ever searched for anything that you needed for your car on Amazon?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, and the only thing that really popped up was like I think it was a shift boot or something I was looking for. I was just looking for something basic, and I think a lot of those popped up. Surprisingly, I'm like, what?
Like what the heck?
Shift boots? Okay. But they were kind of overpriced and not really like super nice looking. So I was like, no. Yeah, I mean, Amazon, it's probably not your best bet.
It's not for that.
Right. It's not really for that. I mean, you could get basic kind of universal type maintenance stuff. Like you said, spark plugs, oil filters, oil even.
Maybe if you need it quick and like whatever, you know, but still, you're not going to find your best options.
Don't put Amazon oil in your RB.
Yeah. yeah.
Don't get the Amazon Basics oil and do an oil change.
You think you're buying Liqui Moly, but you're buying Liquid Dolly. Yeah. It's just not the same. Yeah. So, and then we also have, you know, Facebook Marketplace is definitely like an option depending on what you're looking for.
And groups, Facebook groups as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like Facebook groups, if you get in the right groups, like Backshelf.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Backshelf is like legit. I don't even remember how I came across that group.
Yeah.
But when I did, I joined and I was like, holy cow. I mean, it's kind of like all rare JDM stuff, I guess, not just specifically Nissan. And really, I see it's a lot of Subaru stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of that type.
Those guys hold on to stuff like pack rats.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Never know when you might need it.
Yeah, I know. I still got some of my STI stuff. Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, Backshelf is legit.
Backshelf is legit. And even if you never buy anything, it's cool to see it come across like, oh, wow, this guy found these, or he's been holding on to these for 20 years. Holy crap.
Right. And I don't even think it's really like a buy and sell group. It's just more or less like a.
A fan
rare
thing.
parts type thing, but people do sell things on there.
Right.
So if you're looking for some stuff, you could even ask like, "Yo, I'm ready to buy. I'm looking for this and looking for that." Like, and I'm sure someone in that group would probably have it.
Right. And if not, they might be able to point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, groups. You know, there's a million groups out there. Backshelf is just one of them. You know, of course, there's whatever Skyline owners, Nissan buyers, like all of these different ones, right? So, you know, search around. You know, there's Honda ones, there's Subaru ones, there's everything, right? But when it comes down to like the actual marketplace and like in these groups, a lot of times people will have people that can vouch for them.
Right,
You know,
right.
like, oh, you know, I've bought off this guy a bunch of times, whatever. But on Marketplace, beyond like that little Marketplace rating, you really don't get much info on like this person's like
Yeah,
history
for
of
sure.
selling, you
You
know?
definitely have to use your best discretion and,
Yeah.
really do your due diligence, when buying something used off someone that you don't know that has no type of like history or like
Right.
and
Isn't a name, so to
right,
speak.
right. And if it's too good to be true, it's probably
You know the
probably
saying.
yeah. Come on, like
It's too good
you're
to fucking
you're
be
not
true.
getting a
Come
set
on.
of bread seats for $400 that are legit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. For
get
sure.
real. Like those are fake. Come
Right.
on.
And so that's the thing. I generally will not mess with Facebook Marketplace unless it is within driving distance.
Yeah, same here. And that's
Because,
kind of right. I mean,
once you send that money, it's gone.
right, you could get burned.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have used Marketplace to buy the set of wheels I got, actually, the Advans. There's a guy in Massachusetts that had them, and yeah, I came across and we met up like later that day. I had to drive a couple hours. He drove a couple hours to meet me, and that was legit. But like, I did look at the wheels. I did make sure they were as described and they weren't fakes. They're not reps, like whatever it might be. So it was a good deal. But you can definitely get burned pretty quick on Marketplace, and then that dude's gone. He blocked you.
For
like,
sure. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's no like Facebook police or anybody
Right.
that's going to do nothing for you. You just lost out. Like, but again, if you can meet the person, you can check out the product before handing over your money. That's like huge compared to everything else that we've listed. Like, that's kind of huge because you can see it before you buy it. You know, if you're buying an HKS turbo kit off Nengun, you don't really need to see it. It's going to be
it's
complete.
legit. It's brand new.
You're right.
Yeah.
But like, I purchased a set of LMGT4s off from Marketplace, and I was super hesitant because I had to drive almost 8 hours down to New York to pick them up. And like these full 8 hours, I'm like, dang, I hope this guy shows up.
Right.
Dang, I hope these are what he said.
Yeah.
Dang, I hope they're the right fit. Dang, I'm like sweating hard, right? But then I got there. Dude was super cool and accommodating. Everything was sealed in the original boxes. Like, I got a legit nice set of LMGT4s for an awesome price. And so in that instance, Marketplace really hooked me up because otherwise, like, these LMGT4s were $4,500. Right. On eBay, the next closest set was $8,900, dude, plus shipping.
Keep them.
$8,900 plus shipping.
That's ridiculous.
Like, so it's like, there's a place for all of these platforms. There's like a spot for you to win on everything that we've listed here, depending on what you're looking for.
Right, and depending on how much work you want to put in.
Yeah, for sure. Like, did I want to drive 8 hours?
Right.
No, I hate driving 8 hours. However,
Hell of
did I want a pair of LMGT4s? And did I want to make sure that they were what I was getting?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it was worth it. So now these are all these options are like, okay, you're looking for a part here, a part there, maybe whatever, a whole, your whole car build, right?
Yeah.
That's like on the smaller scale of things. Now, if you're a hustler and you want to like move some parts and you want to be that guy like Jaron, but like in the US maybe or in your area, then you need to get a full container.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's like the move, right? And like we've considered this, but like in our current area where we live, like it would be very hard for us to do this and not make it kind of a lot more work, because where we live, there's not a lot of guys who are going to meet up with us to get these parts. They're going to have to be coming from down south.
Right, or we're shipping.
Yeah,
or
we're shipping everything, and that means we're having to promote it online and like really find those buyers.
Have to get a shipping and receiving department.
Seriously. And so if you're one of these guys who already has the connections, who already has like the way to sell parts, then you can hit up Stacked. Like we talked about in an earlier episode, you hit up Stacked, you fill up some of these cages, you get a container, and the container shows up, and it's literally packed to the brim with parts. They're not going to tell you that it's full until it's full. And when they say full, that means when you open those doors, stuff's falling out.
Yeah.
Like, it's full. So
they're not called stacked for no reason.
Exactly. Literally. That's literally
like,
it, too.
Dude,
they know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you can do that, you got whatever, 40, 50, 100,000 to dump into parts. And, even better if you can go over there and source some of them and then fill your own container. That's for sure the way to do it, because the container and the shipping itself isn't that crazy.
Yeah.
You just have to fill it.
Right.
And if these aren't big parts, that means you're spending more money.
Right. Yeah, I think I saw the day on Instagram that they posted a picture of a guy. He filled his container, right? He had an R34 in there. And then around the entire front end were these huge Nismo boxes, which was like all the crazy aero, like the front bumper, the Nismo rear bumper, skirts, like all that stacked in around the car that's hanging there.
Yeah, like, I love it when they're hanging.
Yeah, I was just like, so holy cool. Cow, dude, that is insane. But
because we asked you, and when we were there, about that, we're like, man, you're like hanging these cars, He's like, no, nothing's falling. Like, that thing's not even moving. He's like, we got so much tension on that thing.
Yeah, I forgot what kind of cable they said they used. It was something.
I don't remember.
Something weird.
But yeah,
it was legit.
If you can picture, a container, looking down a container, they literally elevate these cars and hang them from the top of, and the top of containers on the inside are these kind of like hanger type things, and they string this wire that he's talking about from those U hangers to the car and back, and to the car and back. And
I wish we could have seen that when we were there, because I don't even understand
where they're hooking it to.
Right, on the car, or dude, I just do not get it. I'm just kind of amazed by it.
Yeah, that's why it works for them, right? Because they are the guys doing that.
Right. It makes me want to order a container with a car in it just so I can get it here.
Yeah, hey, let me get a D series Honda Civic. It's cheap, it's light. Just throw it in there. Yeah. So yeah, if you're a big dog and you can move some parts and you can help some of us other guys out by having the parts on hand, by all means, hit up Ewan over at Stacked and get your container.
Oh, absolutely.
Just holler at us, because we'll help you fill it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
we got a few things we could throw in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so lastly on our list, and again, this is just our list. There's probably a million websites we didn't say. There's probably
absolutely
all these options. But, we're just going through our own thing. And I think finally the last thing that you could do is find a Japanese connection. Whether it's like Aaron mentioned earlier, it's a military guy that you happen to know. You went to high school with him. He's in Okinawa. Or if you're able to either meet somebody online that's from Japan, or go to Japan and create an actual relationship.
Yeah.
That's also pretty cool, because if you did find something on Yahoo Auctions, your Japanese friend's probably going to be able to help you out with that.
Right. Absolutely.
If you needed something looked at in person, probably going to be able to help you out with that.
Right.
And if he's really resourceful, he's going to know where all the parts are that the quote-unquote regular people like you and me when we went over there didn't even realize was a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
There could have been some parts houses that we didn't even know about that
Absolutely.
Do have the rare parts,
100%.
that are just kind of more quote-unquote underground.
Yeah.
So finding a Japanese connection is probably one of the better ways, because you're forming a true relationship, right? You're not just clicking buttons, cashing out, swiping your card, whatever, right? You're actually, you made a friend.
Yeah.
So, I would definitely recommend that, but don't go DMing every dope Japanese car guy.
Right.
I already tried that. It doesn't work. No, I didn't. But, it's I did. No, but, you don't want to be tacky about it. But, having a friend, quote unquote, in the business is definitely, I think, super beneficial.
And, dude, you never know who you might meet on the internet either.
It's true.
You might meet this guy who wants some 240SX parts. And you're like, hey, well, I want some Sylvia parts.
Right. Boom.
I'm in America. You're in Japan. Let's
do this.
Right.
Yeah, just don't screw me over.
right.
You know.
So
Yeah, no, I agree. You do never know. I mean, shoot, you might send a DM and all of a sudden you're talking to the owner of a company that
Right.
you admire, you know, and it's like, oh shoot, okay, you know, like just like we talked about in an earlier episode, we walk up to this dude in front of Garage Defend who happens to be one of the owners, and he treats us like we're like the coolest dudes ever.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'm like, dude, you're the coolest dude
yeah,
ever.
Exactly. He gives us free reign to millions of dollars worth of Skylines, and like we're just like, okay,
Wow.
like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You know, he's like, yeah, I'm fixing this Lexus. Get out of here. Go look at the cars. You know, so like, yeah, don't be scared because, you know, the last thing that I'll say is I think that, the Japanese car culture admires the USDM car culture.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for us to think that we are the ones that like what they have.
Right.
But we like what each other has.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
and
a
that's
mutual thing.
right. And you got to understand that. So you may not be annoying or coming out of nowhere to this person. They maybe want to meet an American just as bad.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So yeah, that kind of wraps up episode 20 of, you know, how to kind of source JDM and right-hand drive parts. If you have any questions, just send us a DM or an email or a smoke signal or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah, it don't matter, but we'll gladly help you and guide you to, you know, whatever you need. Yeah, I mean, it's worked out for us, so,
Yeah.
you know. But all right, this is about it. Episode 20, right-hand drive, guys. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.